Yeah.
It was very, very hard.
It's a rough weekend.
Out of no, I'm assuming you had the newer edition with all the upgraded beans and stuff like that. Which bean did you dread the most? For me, it was honestly, I think it was the rotten fish.
The rotten fish wasn't so bad to me, but I think the dog food was probably one of the worst.
Dog food was definitely the worst, but it's like for me, the rotten fish was more. It lingered after you ate it, like it would stay in your mouth after you ate it. I think that was for me. That was the worst part of the rotten fish. But like, yeah, the dog food was definitely a close second.
Yeah. Well, I also had the dish soap. That one lingered for at least an hour after you eat one of those dish soap beans.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the dirty dishwater.
Dishwater, yes.
Yeah. So you can taste like dish soap, and you can taste like different notes of really just gross food that you assume is rotten.
Now, did you?
Do you think they put real...
I'm sorry.
I was just like, do you think they put real dish soap in those?
No, it's not real dish soap. No, it's just from what I understand.
Question, it's better.
No, from what I understand is most like all these like bad flavored beans came from an experiment when they were trying to make a different flavor, and they messed up. So and then we're like, oh, we have a market in these bad flavor things. And apparently, what is it? I think they were trying to make a pizza flavor. If I'm not mistaken, they were trying to make a pizza flavor, messed it up, and it tastes like barf. Apparently, pizza and barf taste very, very similar to each other in the tasting world, and that's how they, I guess, kind of started making these awful beans and stuff like that. So, but I think one of the worst. I don't know. Did you ever have to do like a whole combination row of bad beans? Cleo?
Yep.
I think the worst one I had was a combination of dirty socks, dishwater, and I think it was stink bug.
Okay.
That was a pretty bad one.
God. No, that probably would have made me throw up, and that wouldn't have been good for stream. So I didn't do combination, but to give you kind of an insight into what happened when we were doing the Bean Boozle, the beans didn't actually show up until like halfway through Saturday's stream.
Oh.
So we had accumulated.
Oh.
We had all those donos.
Oh,
I remember that.
Oh no.
You decided like
30 beans at once, and I wanted to die. I wanted to die.
It's oh man.
It was the worst experience.
I honestly remember sitting there watching like the first 10, like the first like handful of beans. You're like, all right, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. And it was like after like 8 or 10, I was just like, and this stopped being fun for me. Like, this is so not fun right now. Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
Yeah, it was so gross. What?
Just so I have I can eat a lot of different stuff and be fine, but also in many ways I do have a very sensitive stomach, and so just the idea of trying to do a Bean Boozle thing, just like, no thank you. No, I'm not doing anything that for channel points that involves eating something. Like, unless it's this cookie I really want.
Oh yeah, and like I have a sensitive stomach too. Like I don't know what I was thinking. Like I've seen Tech Guru 808 do them, and you know, like he can stomach them, and I don't know how he does it. So I was like, let's give it a shot. So then that was the worst decision I've ever made.
Some people just have those iron stomachs. They just do.
Yeah.
I don't.
My only experience with having like bad food things happen on stream was when I added Truth or Dare to my channel points. And,
I love Truth or Dare on your channel points.
And yeah, like I'm not even getting paid for this. I was like, like maybe next time I should do something where it's like monetarily I could get paid to do dumb stuff. But I had it on dares, and it was like, all right, get a bottle of Tabasco. Find the hottest sauce you have in the house. Try that, and it ended. It ended with brush your teeth after drinking orange juice.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that is one thing that doesn't bother me. I knew it wouldn't bother me, and I also knew it would just blow Chad up. So, I mean, I really did. I was like, massive glass of orange juice, gulp, 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 toothbrush, just gonna nice brush my teeth. And Chad's like, no, oh, we've gone too far. We've gone too far. Oh, but there's a lot of fun stuff that again, I always think it's interesting when you get those good ideas, or you take something that somebody else does, and you're like, all right, let's give it a try. Let's see if we can make it into our own somehow. And there's definitely those times where it's like, oh no, that ended. That was bad. But also, I think it was a fantastic way though to take a real life moment that you're going to have, you're going to be moving, and say, okay, how can I do this? To hey Tamer, to how can I use this to turn it into something that I need in real life, and make my life better. So I think that's a really nice way of kind of doing that. What were you going to say, Des?
One of the things like that I can usually get zealous going on a TED Talk and voice chat sometimes is meme culture, and how we develop those in our little audiences and our channels. And I wanted to know, what's your favorite meme that you feel like you and your audience have built together? Like, what's the inside joke that comes up a lot that just every time makes you either smile or feel fond about the fact that you've developed this culture together?
When there have been so many, like there was the Just Dance and the T-Rex. People bring that up occasionally. People bring up like weird things that happen in stream. Like it's kind of hard to pinpoint a specific meme that would be, like the cornerstone or the pinnacle of the community. But it's basically, I think my community has been cultivated around basically just good topics, good content. I mean, occasionally you're gonna have boring streams, like there's no way around it. There are gonna be some streams where it's like super boring, you're super tired, whatever, but you just kind of have to power through. You have to get through it. So that's really that's really it. I don't know. Memes will only get you so far in streaming, but they can definitely help garner a massive following in a very short amount of time. Like if you look at what was her name with the bunny, like it's serendipitous what happened to her, where she was like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen, and then like an arrow just like shoots it down and like shoots the bunny. Yeah, and she goes just
I know
like,
what you're talking. I know that meme, but I can't remember where it's from.
Tiny streamer, and then now she's massive because of that one clip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that became a meme, so like it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you create. It's just serendipitous what does become meme culture in your community and what does not.
Now, did you have, so I guess I forgot to ask. I think I have, when I was going through some clips, I think I saw that you had clips from like 4 years ago. So how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
So I started in 2016. I was still in college, and
Okay.
I was like, you know, this seems pretty cool. I think I'm gonna give this a try. Yeah, it was very, very slow starting out, but yeah, October 2016. That's when I started. So this will be in October. It'll be my 5th year streaming.
Wow. How did you come across Twitch? I mean, was it something that you stumbled upon, or did someone tell you about it, or?
I actually don't. Excuse me. I don't really know. I don't really remember how I came across it. I guess I just stumbled on it, and
Yeah, it's kind of funny too because I don't remember how either. I just remember doing it.
yeah.
Right? Right. No, I'm serious. I just remember like I'm here now. You know.
I was born streaming.
not just streaming, just like coming up like falling upon Twitch and just using it. It's just I don't even remember how like I can't even remember if someone told me about it. I don't remember if someone said, "Hey, check this out," or I stumbled upon it. I just remember like I'm watching this now.
I was just picturing the Bane voice.
I was born in There was a webcam on at my bar. You think Amazon Prime will save you?
Nah, but it was yeah. I totally relate though because it's just something that like oh yeah I'm using Twitch now. I don't remember how I came to this, but and
So-
I said the story about how I started Twitch. It's like I was going to utilize it for like reviewing games. It's like oh I'm interested in this game. Someone's playing it. I'll see how that game goes, and then maybe I'll buy it or not. You know, that's how I originally was envisioning using Twitch, and that's how I started.
Okay. Now, so if you don't quite remember like how you found Twitch, was there like any moment where you were like watching somebody on Twitch and you're like, yeah, I could do this, or like who inspired you like, oh, I wish I could be like this? Was that something that was there, or is that something that was, or was it just like you came on Twitch and you're like, oh, this just looks cool, let's go?
So there actually was
Okay.
somebody that I was watching who inspired me to stream, and he was just so magnificent when I came across him. Like he was this untouchable, I guess when I say that, I mean I put him on a pedestal. You know, like he could do no wrong. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name. It's like Bo something. Unfortunately, I don't watch him anymore, as you can tell, because as time went on, he got to be very very picky and choosy about how he engaged with his community. Like he only called out donations and subs. He didn't engage with chat like at all.
Okay.
And so I was like, this isn't for me anymore. Like I shouldn't have to pay you money in order to engage with you. I'm sorry, my light just kicked on Siri, and I'm like, Siri, no.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
Don't worry about it. It's good. No,
Siri, shake your face.
So that's a good segue, and it's like for you personally, what values do you put into your stream? Like what do you want in your community of your stream? How do you see yourself?
I mean, everybody wants the community where people will pile in and they engage with one another. That's extremely hard to cultivate when you're super small because people are just there for you and they don't really engage with anybody else. At least that's what I've seen, the vast majority of small streamers. But in order to grow, you need new viewers to come in and be like, wow, like everybody's engaging with everybody else, and this is really cool, and I can make some friends here. And then you gather, it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
You just need that. I would like to personally have that. I want to include like all the right people. Of course, there are some people that slip through the cracks and, you know, they say some really dumb stuff down the road, but, you know, you deal with that.
Yeah, I have no idea why I'm not banned yet. I just.
Oh no, believe me.
It's just so toxic. I mean, really.
You're not bad. You're not bad. You're
No,
fine.
I try to behave.
Do you have a memorable troll who has come into your community? Has there been an incident of that you found discouraging that may have almost stepped you away from streaming because of it, or?
I wouldn't say. Well, okay. If you're getting into streaming, anybody in this chat that is trying to get into streaming, if a troll will discourage you from streaming altogether, I would say, get thicker skin. That's just
You heard it here first, folks. Get thicker skin.
Get thicker skin. Now available for $9.99 a month.
I'm just, you know, it's very matter-of-factly stated, but you need it in this industry, because there are going to be people that make it their life goal to make you miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you can't pay any heed to them. You know, slash ban, move on.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
very, very wise words.
But speaking about the memorable troll, okay, so I was doing a painting stream. It was several years ago. I had long hair. It was pulled back. I was getting ready to end, and this dude came in, and he's like, "Oh, look, it's discount Gal Gadot." And I'm like,
what?
"Okay, we're gonna raid somebody now." All right. I was ending anyway, but yeah, he just came in and was like, "Oh, look, it's discount Gal Gadot." I'm like, that's actually kind of funny.
I would be complimented if somebody was like, "This is off-brand Bob Ross." I'm like, cool.
Yeah, how do I? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, where do we go from here? It's there. All right.
It's out there. It's in the world.
Yeah. when people come in and do that, but it's so great.
I mean, they probably could have said worse, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the most memorable. Like
What a weirdly well-educated a thing to say. All right.
Yeah, we love creative trolls at least. That is true,
Right.
Jen. That is true. Like if
Yeah,
somebody's trolling and they're really creative about it, or it's, I mean,
Yeah.
again, there's a difference between somebody who's just coming in and posting inappropriate, like they're gonna post, like when they post inappropriate, text files or all that stuff. I mean, that's different than somebody coming in and yeah, they may be trolling, but it's, like you said, like, okay, that's funny. That's funny. It's
when it
a
turns
different
into a
brand.
roast me section, like the subreddit.
Yeah, but I mean, but I think, like I said, I think we've all had those trolls who come in, or when folks are gently trolling, or they're just having fun without being like really angry and hateful. Again, that's just basically, I mean, call it as it is. That's basically free content for you, because you're like, oh really? let's have some crowd work time. Ha ha ha.
It's true. So you have done a little bit of acting, right, Cleo?
So I did theater when I was in high school, like all 4 years. Like my senior year of high school, I was like really, really close with, I was actually really close with my teacher at that point, because I came in where I lived before, they had like a more advanced kind of theater program there. And so I come in and I'm like, where's all the Anton Chekhov plays? And he was like, what? You know, like somebody knows who Chekhov is. So yeah, so that was basically that. I was in many productions here. I've been in a web series which has been taken down. Thank God.
Oh.
But yeah, like some little projects, you know. But the main thing was my teeth were kind of holding me back. So now that I'm fixing those, I'm like, hey, we can probably do this again. We could give it another try.
Do you feel like skills you developed during all of that help with streaming, are connected in any way, or is it just a completely different skill set you've had to develop for stream?
Honestly, you know, streaming is something it's something else, man. Like there are people that do employ a lot of their acting skills when they stream. Like they become a completely different person. But honestly, that's not really sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have breaks, and if people discover those breaks and they're like, hey, this isn't what I signed up for, then you know, they leave. So it pays more to be authentic, to be your authentic self, than it is to be something that you're not. Like, you know, acting wise. But even still, with acting, you know, you're basically taking on a completely different persona. You're living that experience. Whereas, you know, like I don't know. Depending on if you do create a character for streaming, you know, it could be living in that persona. You're living that character. But, you know, again, like what happens if you're having a bad day or whatever, you know? Streaming has IMO, like a completely different feel than acting on camera or acting on stage.
Ooh. So Jen in chat brought up a point that I've seen a couple times. I think it's more limited than I think it's a pretty limited niche, but he brought up talking about people who take it so far to the extreme where they've faked handicaps or being in a wheelchair or something like that, and that's something that came up that I know happens, that some people have done. I was also, while you were talking about like acting and not being your authentic self, I just came up with the random question came in my head of, you know, how much of being a VTuber now is acting? Since you're talking about making a character, they literally have character personas. They literally have, you know, these cartoon personas that they use to represent themselves. And would you say that, I wonder, just as a group, is that more acting, do you think? Or is that just another, like if they're going to be a faceless streamer, like they don't want to show their face, but they still want to try to be themselves on stream? I'm just kind of wondering how y'all feel about that.
I feel like it would really depend on the like what kind of character they develop. Is this just a cartoon version of me? Because then it's probably just gonna be me, right? Like I'm gonna be inclined to just be myself, except I'm animated now.
Yeah.
But I think, at least from my perspective, on the YouTubes, I feel like I've seen a lot of VTubers who are, I feel like they must be playing a character, but I don't know. I don't know them in real life.
I would say, you know, that's a tough one. It's like the rabbit in the cave argument, you know, like what is real and what is an illusion, because you can't really see. You're not seeing what's behind it all. Right. You know, you're only seeing what you're given. You only see the shadow of the rabbit in the cave. You're not looking behind you to see the rabbit crossing by. So that one's really tough.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's just something. Again, it's just something that popped in my head, and I was like, that's an interesting way to kind of look at it and say, what's happening here? I think definitely. I think the one thing is, so I think part of the VTuber appeal though is probably the fact that there is a separation from the actual face cam of like who the person actually is, and it's a character. I think it allows the viewers to probably impose more of themselves into the character, or see more of themselves in the character than when it's an actual person that they're looking at, and they're like, oh, this is, this is a human being. It's maybe a different kind of appeal to it. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent that doesn't that is not wildly where we were talking about topics. Sorry.
Well, I think also, when you watch a TV show, or when you watch, I know that anime is a big one with
Yeah.
a lot of gamers, and like there are a lot of VTubers that use that to their advantage, and they kind of take that direction. It's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for here? But
Escapism?
I think so. I think that's what I'm trying to get at, because they're creating an inauthentic experience where people can subscribe to it, both figuratively and actually.
Right.
So, I think that's the appeal of it.
Okay.
It could also be like a for the streamer themselves, a psychological mindset that this is the type of person I want to be. This is not who I think I am, or the person that I am is not who I think I want. I want to be like this person here. And anime, kind of. I mean, it's that culture where you got these cool characters, and they're like, oh my gosh, I relate to this. Somehow I connect to this one character, and that's who I want to be, and that's how I want to be. And I think that's I think part of it is what is really what makes it so popular, and stuff. And a lot of animes just relate to a lot of different peoples and stuff like that. So
It's hidden so close to home. Why are you attacking me like this? Why are you attacking me?
I know for a fact that Zealous totally wants to be JoJo.
Oh yeah, God, who doesn't want to be JoJo? I mean, Jesus.
If I had the option, I'd be JoJo.
I mean, when I was 13, I wanted to be JoJo too.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I think you're right. I mean, like, if you're going to start using that as a persona and start streaming that, and you start getting into like, oh wait, I've gone in a little bit too far of this. This is a career now. I'm doing this almost 24/7. It can be taxing. That character can be taxing, because yeah, you watch a TV show, they're not that 24/7. That character. They get breaks into that, and then we understand that they're actors, and then they can be themselves, and political stuff on Twitter and stuff like that. But but yeah, it being that persona 24/7, almost 24/7 on a regular scheduled basis on a stream can be taxing, and like things can fall apart in those things. It was actually kind of interesting that when Zealous brought that the VTuber up. I think there's a new one out there that's Raccoon, or I think she's only been doing it for about a year or so, and then
it's like 6 months.
Yeah,
almost.
And then she finally she was like doing this whole high pitched up, the ooh.
She's doing the ooh voice,
and then finally was like, you know what, this is my real voice, and then it came down like that. So.
Yeah. She
literally came out with it.
Yeah, it literally just happened, and a lot of it was because she was like, I'm not this person. I don't feel like this person. I feel like I'm lying to people. And she's like, I'm just gonna come out and use my real voice. Yeah. The interesting thing, because one of our friends, Kage Shukun, is really interested in this stuff, and I'm interested because it seems like it's going to become it's going to become part of the future of streaming. With virtual streamers like Project Melody, Code Miko, where Code Miko blends like real life, the technician part of the show, and then the actual animated character part of the show. It's advancing and going in unique and interesting ways, and it seems like it's the most rapidly evolving thing with live streaming right now, which makes it fascinating to me. It's like, okay, here's kind of where the future of streaming is going.
And it's super expensive.
Well, I think from talk with my friend Clover Chibi, who recently became a VTuber, she taught all of herself how to do a bunch of the stuff. And but to get somebody to like do the art and to do the animation for the character together, you'd be looking somewhere around about $1,500.
Like, and that's on the low end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, so that's on the low end. A really talented VTuber artist and like animator can charge upwards of 5K.
Yeah, Titch said Etsy sells avatars anywhere from $200 to $2,000.
Yeah, and
I
then
believe it.
so like Sid and I both were dabbling in this not too long ago. We were going 2 different routes for animating a character. It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's not easy.
I was just proud that I got it to actually lip sync and blink. I'm like happy.
Yeah,
I'm really happy with that.
you should be.
I'm not doing anything else with it.
All right, let's circle back around
Yes.
to topics at hand and everything else. So again, talking about life, work, stream, and memes. I was curious because I've had a chance to stream with my family a number of times, professionally through my work at the bowling center, and also occasionally, bowling Tuesday nights with my family has kind of become a thing too. How much fun did you have with the cooking stream with your mom?
It was amazing. But also I would say, why'd she tell that story of me pole dancing at 2? Oh God, because now that's out there. That's on the internet.
That's on the internet forever.
I think our parents, have those things, those embarrassing moments specially selected. It's just here it is.
Yep.
All your friends.
And at my wedding, they're probably gonna...
I've been saving this since you're a child, and you destroyed that expensive thing I really like. Been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot to be said for having a great relationship with your parents, and especially being able to stream with their support. Because you can be a fully independent adult or whatever, and they could still be like, I think you could use your time a little bit better. So when they do show up and do support you, then it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you want to share that with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have, and then you've done a couple co-streams with your brother. I remember you guys were racing Doom Eternal one time.
Yep, Nightmare Doom Eternal speedrun.
Have you gotten the DLC yet?
No, he was telling me about that last night.
They just dropped new DLC.
Yeah, I need to get that. But I'm kind of on like a well, just to put it this way, I have like 75 gigs to get me through 4 days of my data cap. So I'm like, I really want to download a new game, but also I can't.
Oh God! Well, thank you. Thank you for using some of that valuable data time here today too. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
So with streaming again, so like I know Sid, your parents watch, like your mom watches and comes in chat. Cleo, you've got participation, and you also have your
dad comes in.
give Cleo more data. ISP. I agree, Tamer. It needs to get done. I know Des, you've got some friends that pop in stream. I'm not sure about your family. I've got my beautiful wife Kep Lily, who hangs out as well.
I have students who pop in stream, and that's why my channel is usually PG.
But again, any thoughts? Has streaming or bringing a family member in, has it made you any closer with them? Is it like, okay, we did this thing? Is it like, hey, when's the next time I can come on?
My mom really wants to do another cooking stream, so
Nice.
probably for an upcoming baking stream, we'll do that again.
Cool.
But she has this amazing house with this amazing kitchen that looks like it's straight out of a Gordon Ramsay like home cooking show. So
I mean, all the better for you, right? Like, look, we're this gorgeous kitchen.
exactly. Yeah, but she really likes it. I would say I've already had a great relationship with my family. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to, like, my brother and I, let me just put it this way. My brother and I were at each other's throats constantly.
Right.
And, that's pretty common with siblings. But now that we're older, we're pretty close. I'm very close with my parents. But, I can't say whether or not it would improve a relationship. But it definitely strengthens a bond.
Yeah.
Because you're including them in something that is like one of your passions.
Right.
And you're saying, I want to include you in on this. I want to share it with the world. I want to share you with the world. And that means a lot, It's like, take a look at my family.
Inversely, Zelos, I tried to do some stuff with my husband a couple times, and we wanted to kill each other. So we're not doing that again.
No.
So, sometimes things get spicy.
Were y'all trying to? Well, that's what you get for trying to play Monopoly with spouse on stream.
No!
You just don't play Monopoly with spouse on stream.
I was like, I don't keep up with the news very well or understand politics super well, so we were like, Gregory explains the news, and so I was trying to get him to explain the latest news headings to me that week for a stream thing, and it just, yeah, it's true, Chich. We are kind of spicy sometimes.
Sammer's like, the show comes on, Final Fantasy music starts to play. And Pretty Kitty.
Oh, we get it's out like being fine because it's like Cajun flavored, and then you like all the other good flavors you got is just salt. Oh, this is a good kitty.
Big ol' eyes.
Yeah. Oh, please don't bite me.
Please
Please don't bite me. Ah, you have very sharp claws.
What was the meme that was going around for a while where it's like cats are just like way small tigers or something along those lines?
Oh, they are. They absolutely are.
They don't know how small they are.
They don't know.
They don't know.
All right, Cleo, you have to tell your 7-year-old self that you've become a streamer on Twitch. How do you explain this concept to them?
Wow.
7-year-old me either wanted to be a model or a rocket scientist. So I would have been like, heck yeah, let's go.
I can do my rocket science on stream while being a model. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know where those concepts came from, but I would probably say, hey, you know that computer that you play Total Annihilation on and Duke Nukem? You're gonna be able to have a camera, and you're gonna have some fans and things, and you're gonna play video games. You're gonna play games like Duke Nukem and Total Annihilation for these people, and you're just gonna have a ball. You're gonna have grand old time. So enjoy the childhood while you got it. Learn some shit about computers. Have fun, kids.
Casually puts on lip gloss.
Invest in Bitcoin and buy Amazon. No shit.
Right.
Dear 7-year-old me, invest in these companies. We want to be rich.
It's like Hot Tub Time Machine. He made Google, not Google.
Exactly. Dude, if I god damn. I was in high school when Google first came out, and it was like, oh, I could have got that stock so cheap. That stock's so cheap. I was researching it in finance. God, why am I so stupid? I didn't buy. That was the only stock I bought when I was a kid. Why didn't I put any real money in it? Oh,
I could be rich.
It's hard to tell which way the market's gonna go, you know.
Yeah,
And recently,
yeah.
like I started investing in crypto and whatnot. So, yeah.
now I know. Your chat had your Discord had a lot of discussion on the Wall Street bet stocks.
Oh yeah.
Some people really like GME.
Mhm.
Did that influence any of your investing, or were you just like, this is so chaotic, I'm just gonna go this way?
We just like the stock.
We just like it. We just like the stocks. To the moon. There we go. It's going to the moon.
No, but it was actually kind of crazy because I was blowing the whistle on AMC when it was $2, and I was
Yeah,
telling
I
everybody that.
remember.
I was like, guys, AMC is at $2. They are likely to recover. I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
some money at this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I had some skeptics that were like, you know, they're like 750. They need 750 million to get through the year, and they're in a really bad spot financially, and the pandemic's still raging, and yada yada yada. It's a bad investment.
Right.
TLDR, it's a bad investment. I said, but when you're looking at where the floor is versus where AMC is, you know, your risk profile is not going to be that great, but you have the potential for all that growth.
Right.
So it's just thinking positively. And
Well, not that cheap. At $2 a stock, you're like, well, I'm not gonna go bankrupt if I throw $20 at this.
Which leads me to the follow-up question. When AMC started to go up, how did it feel to pay off the house after 6 months?
no, I only had like
she's
100
like 6
shares.
months,
I only had
3
100.
months. I'm sorry.
I
what was-
really wish I could have put more money in, but like I had
Yeah.
just bought a house. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess we'll just play the game with pennies compared to people playing the game with like stacks of 10,000. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing pennies at it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 nickels for you, kid. Yeah, buy me some AMC stock. Yeah.
Basically, I mean, like that's the cool thing about it. You know, you don't have to throw like thousands of dollars at it at once. You can play with just a couple of $100.
Mhm.
Who knows where you'll go?
You know,
Who
that
knows?
is a valid point. Who knows where you go, and who knows where we're gonna go once we come back from intermission. We usually hang out for about an hour, do some talking, take like a quick 10-minute chance to get up, stretch, move around, all that kind of good stuff.
5 minutes.
Was it 5 minutes? Is that what we got today?
I mean, we
Well,
could
my
go
video
longer.
is 7.5 minutes long, so
Okay. So
Oh,
we got
so
got
Des is automatically assuming I'm using her video.
you better be fucking just for you.
Oh man!
You got- wait, Sid.
What?
Sid, do you got a new 5-minute craft video we must watch?
I have a 10-minute craft video we could watch.
Oh my god.
I hate you. I hate everybody on this channel. Why am I calling this scream?
Yes, come back! No!
I'm joking, Des. I'm joking. It's 20 minutes.
I just hear the scream.
Why?
Oh,
For those of you who don't know, the 5-minute crafts are the devil, and Des absolutely hates him.
Oh, dude.
Well, I mean, like some of them make no sense.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, some of them, most of them, majority, like
They're the
85%.
devil! The devil!
The hot glue's gonna go away after the first shower. What's wrong
Oh
with
my
them?
god, yeah, like hot glue does not have a huge sustaining temperature. You use it to make a freaking shower curtain. The first time you take a hot, steamy shower, it's gonna fall apart.
So much
You
passion
know
for
what? Hot
5-minute
glue in a
crafts.
car, especially because they're using low temp hot glue guns usually. That glue's never gonna stick.
Tell us how you really feel, Des. Tell
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
No.
I know. All right, chat. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and enjoy the video that we have coming. Whether it's Des or whether it's 5-minute crafts, it's probably Des. Enjoy it, and we'll be right back after a brief intermission.
Hi, I'm Des, and welcome to The Cozy Corner. Today we're going to read a story. I hope you're nice and snug. You got a blanket, maybe a glass of something to warm you up. Now, here in The Cozy Corner today, I have selected a classic. This book dates back to, let me just double check here. It is an old classic. You're really going to dig this. This is from 1979. This is copyrighted back in 1979. This is a true American classic. And so today I present to you Tappin's Microwave Cooking Guide. So we're gonna read that together, and we're gonna have a lovely time. So thank you so much for joining me today. A lot of changes have occurred since Tappin first introduced the microwave oven for the home in 1955. Tappin engineers and designers have created many new, innovative improvements to make the microwave ovens of today even easier and more convenient to use. One thing that hasn't changed is Tappin's continuing interest in helping the cook to enjoy more success with every Tappin cooking appliance. That's why we urge you to study and use this new microwave cooking guide. Microwave cooking is uniquely different. The techniques, the timing, the utensils, even the recipes are different than those you learn to cook with conventional ranges and ovens. The hundreds of tried and tested microwave cooking techniques and tips in this guide will help steer you through the learning steps. The over 400 proven step-by-step recipes will enable you to be more quickly enjoy the new ease and convenience of using microwave cooking in preparing basic family meals, quick snacks, or elegant appetizers and dinners. I hope you're ready to have your mind blown today, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We're looking into the Tappin Microwave Oven Guide. All right, here we are. Look at this introduction to the microwave cooking and what it's about. You are just going to have a great time looking through this. You're going to be quick, convenient cleaning tools. That's what microwaving is about. It is quick, clean, and cool. You don't want hot food. You want it to be cool. Added to those factors, the microwave oven is also economical and energy efficient. And you've got the perfect kitchen appliance. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2021, and we still agree with you, 1979. The microwave is the perfect kitchen appliance. All right. It's quick. It's convenient. The microwave will save you hours in the kitchen. Most foods will be cooked in just minutes or even seconds as compared to the conventional methods. The microwave is ideal for today's fast-paced lifestyles. You know it, especially here in quarantine. All right, it's clean. Microwave cooking puts an end to messy ovens. An end. I haven't seen an oven ever. I don't know about you. I've never seen an oven. Range tops and spattered walls. Spills or spatters do not get baked on the inside surface of the microwave oven. If they do happen, simply wipe them clean with a damp cloth. All right, cleanup time is reduced because you can prepare, cook, and serve many foods in just one container. That's right. Forget keeping your food separated. Put it all in a single container. Boom, bada bing. You got it. You have got this taken care of, and I believe in you. All right. It's cool. The only heat in the microwave oven comes from the food itself. The air inside a microwave oven remains at room temperature and may warm just slightly as the food gets hot. You won't heat up the whole kitchen with your microwave unless it's on fire. It's economical and energy efficient. What? Come on, Tappin, tell me more. What are you talking about? Saving energy is a big concern today. Most of us are looking for any way possible to save energy because that means saving dollars as well. That's right. Much of microwave cooking is a one-step process. What? You'll save energy both in the quick operation of the microwave oven as well as in cleanup. You heard it here. That's right. How do waves cook food? How do waves? What are these waves and how do they cook food? Well, your microwave oven is really similar to a little broadcasting station. Inside the oven is a special power source called a magnetron tube. The tube is activated by electricity, which causes it to produce short, high-frequency waves, similar to radio waves. Now, microwaves do not penetrate metal. They are directed along a waveguide in the oven and come in contact with a special metal stirrer. The stirrer is constantly revolving to direct the waves throughout all areas of the oven. That's right, some waves will go directly towards the food, while others will get reflected off the metal walls and flooring of the oven to be directed towards all the different surfaces of the food. All the microwave energy remains inside the oven. That's right, it remains inside the oven. All right. When the door is open or the oven is turned off, the broadcasting of the microwave stops. That's right. It's not just sitting there going constantly. You're not worried about your microwave just being constantly on. It turns off. That's right. It has the power to turn off. You can turn this baby off. This is great. Because I remember back in the day in 1950, ovens just stayed on for hours.
When was this book written?
It's 1979. Go away. Wow, that's right! That's how amazing this is! Microwaves cause heat by friction, just as you create heat when you rub your hands together. As the microwave energy comes into contact with the food, it acts like a magnet on food molecules, causing them to vibrate against each other. As the molecules vibrate, they cause friction with food, which produces instant heat in the food. That's right, instant heat. Instant heat! None of that long waiting heat. Instant! A common misconception. Are you ready for this? I hope you're listening. You better be listening. Oh, we're going over time. I need to stop soon. But let me real quick dive into this quick misconception. All right. Here we are. It is a common misconception that foods cooked in the microwave cook from the inside out. Actually, microwaves cause molecules to vibrate only to a depth of about 2 inches of food. Depending on the differences in resistance and different types of food, heat from these vibrating molecules then moves towards the center of the food, right? And so then the food becomes cooked. Foods of small size and low density tend to cook throughout all the same time. In larger, more dense foods, the cooking is started at the outer edges and heat is conducted to the center. All right, that's all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by the Cozy Corner. I'll see you next time when we continue our adventures in Tappin Microwave Cooking Guide. You have a lovely day.
And yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Des, for that lovely service announcement of the Tappin Microwave Cooking Guide. You, too, can get your Tappin Microwave Guide at our industrial streamer and troll store right down below. Don't look for the link. It's coming right at you. Don't worry about it.
It'll be attached to a brick through the window of your house. Guaranteed.
Oh my God.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
We'll call you.
That's actually like really funny because this telemarketing person said the exact same thing.
Jeez.
All right, Cleo. I want to start off section 2 of today's podcast with a question.
Okay.
The odds that are in have been balanced today, as normally it is me versus Sid and Zelos, because I alone have boobs, and so as a fellow human being with
excuse
boobs,
me.
Yeah,
I have real boobs. You guys have like
As an
fake man
overweight
boobs.
American, I beg to differ.
Man boobs don't count.
oh, no.
You have a higher level of estrogen.
We do. We have
There
a
you go.
higher level of
There
estrogen than either of you. There we go. Okay, so. Sorry, I started thinking about like culture where we start pushing for men to buy bras. And I went into like a whole thing in my head.
Oh my God.
fucking forgot my question.
I'm so
That's it. Welcome to Team Estrogen on the podcast. No. So, question: as an individual with estrogen coursing through their veins, how has your experience? Has this affected your experience on Twitch? Do you feel like it's not really a player in the field, or do you feel like it's an overwhelming shadow on your life and your goals?
Well, I would say being a woman on the platform is entirely different from being a man on the platform, or I just we go through some struggles that male streamers do not even have to fathom. Where do I even begin?
Wherever you're comfortable.
Let me just get out the list.
This is a list I've been making for years.
right here, where we get compared to men if we have cleavage. And it says here is like a little sub point that we steal their viewers.
Say it ain't so.
No, I would just say we come under scrutiny way more often. We have to basically be perfect. Otherwise, we're just gonna be blamed for everything. And I think we are in so many ways. And we get a lot of trolls that come in and they say, "Oh, you're ugly," or "You're fat," or you suck, you're not interesting, or they come in and they try to say things that will wear down your armor.
Unfortunately, I get those same comments too, and then I come home from work, and then
Oh my god!
and then I have to deal with it on stream.
I mean, those are the trials of being an international hand model. I mean,
Yeah, I should have known.
You let me know what that's like. I'm never gonna get there because of my cat now.
It's true.
I mean, so so how can I put this? So a lot of those points I understand that they exist. I really understand they do, and it is sad, and it really makes me upset that some people are so just go basic.
Simple-minded.
So basic,
Simple-minded.
and at times even hateful.
Yes.
Every time I've encountered anybody, because I've been on a number of different networking discords for Twitch streamers, things like that. And one thing I always try to tell people, and I mean it, I'm going to go here too, because we always talk advice, is if you're blaming someone else for your success or failure, you're looking in the wrong direction.
Right.
On when you're going to be doing Twitch, when you're going to be doing YouTube, whatever your creative endeavor is in life, very, very rarely, unless you're like in an office environment and somebody really is just like toxic and going to take you out, that may happen. But on Twitch, for the most part, your success or failure comes down directly to how you're interacting and using the platform. It's all about how do you handle it. You might folks who are like oh, this person's just just got bobs, and that's what's you got them popular. If you're a mono talent or mono advantage or whatever you want to do, if you've got one trick and that's all you got on Twitch, you're not gonna make it. You'll get to a certain point depending on how far you're willing to push things, but there'll be a point where there's gonna be absolutely no more growth, because it really does take you got to be good at 2-3 different things going on in order to really make progress on Twitch. And I think it's a shame that those are still things that people put put out there because it's just ridiculous. And it's even happening again. We talked about VTubers earlier. I'm not going to go into like in-depth dive on this, but it even happens to people who are just like, okay, we're going to be a VTuber, where they have almost that entire genre has almost instantly become the scapegoat from the last couple years of it's just it's a girl streamer, a girl gamer, and now it's like, oh, they're a VTuber, and it's like, if you actually watch and judge people by content, holy cow, some of those people are freaking amazing entertainers.
Right. Yeah. I wish things were different. I think in maybe a decade things will change, but say what you will, gamer culture is still super toxic.
Yeah. Dude.
I don't think the toxicity will ever really change, honestly, unless humanity as a whole changes. I think that's just the way majority of the people are, and it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but on the reality of it, I think that it just won't change. Gamers are going to be gamers, man.
Start getting involved, and they start looking at actually cultivating a decent community, and they start policing their communities in their games. It would affect their bottom line, but like you've got to choose between whether you want a good community or whether you want to make money.
Yep. Absolutely.
There has to be a good line for that. I'm entirely too optimistic. I can't allow myself to believe that it's one or the other. There has to be a line, because that was one of the in talking about like communities, I think it reminds me of it reminds me of like from where Twitch Sings started to like where it kind of started to go. And there was a big branch and divide that ended up started happening, because at first it was very much all about inclusion, getting everybody in. Yeah. And then again, at some point things just gradually changed, where the community, some parts of the community couldn't accept that, like there were some people who were like #1 Fortnite players, and they were really, really talented. And some of the viewership base thought like, this is what it is to be on Twitch Sings. And I would see people doing like group streams where they'd have a really good singer in there with them, but the chat would be kind of toxic sometimes to the people who are just there trying to have a good time. And it was just interesting to see the way that community kind of started to shift and morph and change over the brief like 2.5 years, if you include the beta. And but there was still, like, amongst the singers themselves, there was still a huge part of the community that was very much just there to kind of have fun and be like, hey, we're just here having a good time. Let's all get in parties and rock out till we're we're all ready to go to bed and feeling a little bit flushed and tired.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess it is kind of the downfall of every community, where you start with, is this even a word, inclusivity, and then it becomes focused on exclusivity. Yeah, where like, oh, we're gonna put certain people on pedestals. And, like I felt that with the featured singer this week. And like, yeah, they were good. They were absolutely good, but it became a popularity contest.
It became that high school clique type mentality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly one of the reasons why I, in the community itself, stayed away from a lot of those Dare to Duets and other, like, the competitions that they were putting on. I was just like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to sing, and I wanted to be what it was. It was a karaoke. It was something to bring people together and sing your hearts out. And that was my mentality for Twitch Sings in that retrospect. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, good, mermaid. I can't remember her name now. Was it Mermaid Unicorn or something like that?
Mermaid Unicorn.
Who won?
Yeah.
Who won the Twitch Sings thing? Got millions of dollars or $1 million or whatever it was, and then partnershiped, and then a record deal and all that. Good for her. Great. That's not what I'm in here for. That's not what I'm doing. That's not how I
Right.
want to proceed down that road. So,
Yeah,
So
that's
that was
not part
me.
of the game I was playing. Yeah.
no. I wanted to hang out, have like this, have a good,
Yeah.
have some friends, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Des.
Mine's a silly question.
Oh. I love
Hey,
silly
there are no silly questions. Have you seen our name, Streamer and Troll?
First, it's like nagging my brain. I need to let you guys know that there are men with perfectly legitimate boobs, and I was calling Sid and Zelos out specifically for their fake boobs, just so we're clear. I was like feeling bad about that statement. That there are people with
Okay.
testosterone who have perfectly legit boobs. Anyway,
it
moving
off
on
your
from
chest.
that. Had to get that off my chest.
Mhm.
So Cleo, I am secretly incredibly introverted. Despite my grand extroversion facade. No, it's just who I am. So do you play a lot of games in voice chat in the game, or do you stick to your friend groups in voice chat? And if you play in-game voice chat, do you find that as soon as they hear your voice, that affects the way they play with you? I ask because this is like a mystical land that I've never, I hear about terrible stories about this, and then I personally just avoid it altogether, so I never speak in anything or give away my gender ever unless specifically asked.
Well, it's funny. When I was a little younger, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and I was gaming, I would actually play on multiplayer servers,
Mm-hmm.
and I would use voice comms actually really often, with mixed results. If the community had rules against you can't no sexism, you will be immediately banned if you are sexist to any female players. They had specific rules for that. I
Yeah.
became a Pinnacle member in that specific community because when you're protected, when you find those communities where you are protected as a female,
Mm-hmm.
and you're using voice comms or whatever, it's just such a better experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't found that as of late, so I've been in Discord and I've been sticking to that mostly. I hang out with my dad and I hang out with my best friends, and that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying don't do it. If you can find those communities, absolutely go for it, because you're gonna find amazing friends. I still talk to some people that I've known since I was 15, 16 years old,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so lifetime friends. You
I was
can
having a talk with somebody just the other day actually about real friends, quote unquote. and I was thinking about how the pandemic has made my way of making friends the only way of making friends. I was like, aha! Take that, sister of mine who judged me for years. You know, friends right now. I have at least 10.
I feel the game has changed, especially in making friends online. I don't know about you, it feels so much harder to find friends. Well, and especially on the Twitch platform,
Oh yeah.
crap, because people either assume you want something from them, you want to do a multi-stream or whatever. You can't just you can't just become friends with somebody. Like,
I tried that. I tried just becoming friends with somebody. I had a viewer who was they were a friend, and they were like, "Oh my god, I know this other streamer. He's a good friend of mine. You two would be awesome together. You know, just you should go and say hi and make them." And it's like, okay, cool. I like making friends and stuff like that. I went into the stream and said, "Hey, the so and so said that we'd be kind of cool. You know, I'm Sid. How you doing?" "Hey." "Okay,
The
I'm
other
gonna
person-
go." I was like, I am never doing this ever again.
Never making friends again.
Never.
Did they tell him that you were coming? I mean,
Yes!
was that?
Yes, they did. They did. And it was just like, and I went into the stream and I was like, hey, I'm already, you know, my mentality is like, I'm gonna support this person. They're apparently they're are from this what this other person said. Our personalities matched. They're cool. Okay, I'm down with it. Hi, how you doing? Hey. It was so awkward. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. Bye.
Yeah. Well, that's why I really like Discord as a platform for making friends and hanging out in voice chats. Like, that's where I've made my best internet friends.
I will say, Vood brings up a good point.
Yes.
With Twitch, where it's like I've run into a lot of people who only want to do collab with you if you fit their stream theme and can bring them follows. And that's happened a lot. I know in a number of like YouTube, Twitch life bloggers, the folks who have like, you know, take like a moment and say, okay, here's kind of some of the real life stuff going on. And a few folks in some of the networking discourse, one who almost made partner, so she had some health problems. That they talked about was, it's really tough. Like they live in LA, and it's like if you live in LA where there's a whole bunch of people, you know, making premium content on Twitch, that it really is. It's either like, you know, hey, what can you do for me? Or it's like, hey, let's do a collab. And they're like, all right, cool. Look, I'll come over, hang out, and talk to you while you're doing whatever, and that's all I'm gonna do. It's like, you know, I'm not even gonna, you know, do a co-stream, play multiple games, just like weird stuff like that. But it's also interesting that I see some of the larger groups when they start playing things like when they start playing Among Us. Like I've seen a lot of upper tier streamers bring in people from other disciplines. Like they had a AOC played Among Us with some folks here a couple months back, and it's just interesting seeing, like, again, how those how the ways that you can kind of make that work. That's something I kind of struggle with. Is me personally, I always feel kind of weird at times when I'm multi-stream with other people, because like right now I monologue, I talk a lot, and I say stupid things kind of loudly sometimes, and it makes me always worried that like I'm going to be stepping on other people's toes. Like, you know, I want, you know, it's like it's trying to find that balance for me of like what's the right amount of me talking to contribute to stream without just being like, stupid thing I think's funny, stupid thing I think's funny, stupid thing I think's funny.
So what you're telling
wrong,
me,
Jen.
you're
not wrong.
What you're telling me, Zealous, is you hold that all in, all of those that need to say something, and you let it out on D&D night.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, is that a struggle anyone else has too? Like when you do get into a collab or you do like a co-stream with somebody, do you guys have that worry where it's just like,
oh no, I never struggle with anything.
Okay,
I never struggle with anything. That's perfect, no flaws.
I've struggled with that. I did used to do a lot of co-streams with a partnered streamer. I'm not going to say their name, and they are a very, very dominant presence in themselves, and honestly, to be a partner streamer, to hold that amount of people, that amount of that attention span, You have to be.
Right.
You have to be very, very dominant and very, very assertive of yourself. And so, like, majority of the time when we play, Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, I would honestly, you know me, I could talk. I can talk myself and stuff like that. I would let him just have the reins and just let him talk. And I would interject here and there and stuff like that. But I didn't really say that much because he kind of, he was the dominant force. He brought that.
Bless you.
Bless you. He was that dominant force, and he brought that, that energy with him and stuff like that. So, I think it really just really depends on how you gauge that, and it wasn't a negative thing. It was just how that would, it would flow that way. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I can't believe I'm gonna bring this up.
Oh.
But I'm gonna do it. So,
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption 2 recently just streamed that entire game. Dutch, man. So much conviction. He's a leader and he's a dominant figure.
Mm-hmm.
That is attractive. That is very, very attractive. And not only to, like people on the outside looking in, but like actually in real life. That is attractive. Maybe that's just attractive to me. But, like having that amount of conviction and that kind of pull, it does affect how you can entertain an audience.
Yeah.
That is exactly 100% agree.
And I can understand how that's attractive. It's just it's someone who's they know what to do, and they know where they're going, and they have everything all set in a line. There's no question of where to falter or if they're going to falter, and I can see how that can be attractive.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To a viewer on the outside looking in, they like seeing that amount of direction and that kind of presence. I mean, of course you're gonna have people that are like, hey, oh my gosh, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Oh my gosh, where's your face cam? Why aren't you playing your main game?
Hey, look, Cleo, $5,000. You got your VTuber. You got your VTuber persona right there. No, I get you.
Yeah. So.
Coming out with the sick burns.
This is nice.
Oh man.
Streamer, ooh woo.
So, Cleo, do you work full time?
I do.
So, how do you find the energy to stream on top of that much work? Like, I'm still baffled by Sidious and Zealous. Like, I just spent like 70 hours at work. 12 hours stream.
No, that's
Des.
Sid. That's Sid. That
Des.
ain't me.
Des, I will break it down. It's very, very simple. Cocaine.
3 lines.
Oh, God.
That's all there is. No.
Easy. Barely an inconvenience.
No. I honestly have no idea where I find the energy. I think it's for me personally, I think it's just the need and want to be here and not at work. I honestly, I think that's what it is. I feel
Anywhere but work.
I do feel most comfortable here and I mean here as in streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's for me. Cleo?
Well, for me, I basically live on coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Just the legalized version of
Yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, sometimes the waters get a little muddy. But I would say time management and compartmentalization of what is going on in your life, you need to figure that out.
Do
Absolutely.
you keep like a little calendar, or do you just kind of have it in your head?
I keep it in my head. Like I know exactly when I'm streaming, I try to be like ready ahead of time, but sometimes it's 5 p.m. and you are just logging off and you still have to get ready and you still haven't eaten and you still need to work out. And it's like
Wait, work out? Wait. I can't relate to that last one. I'm sorry. Work out? What is that?
I've been adding it to my daily diet, and I've actually started to look forward to it. I really have. It's bizarre.
Oh, the endorphins that you get. Yes.
I just do a little yoga.
Like, yoga is amazing.
I can't do like super intense things anymore, but
yoga is amazing. Like I do that. I do that too. And it can work you. Oh my god, yoga works too.
So do you have do you follow a rigorous schedule? Then I mean, obviously, I guess you do follow a rigorous schedule to fit all of this in. And that's, you're able to fit in that streaming time, or do you? Is it kind of I don't know where I'm going with this question. Or is it the kind of like a thing where like, okay, I guess I'll stream now, or do you stay on a schedule for that? Sorry,
well,
that is a
especially.
bad question.
No. I totally hear what you're saying. I would say anybody who's looking to stream and trying to grow, get on a schedule. You need that schedule. People need to know exactly when you're going to be live, so they know exactly when to show up.
I'm terrible at that. But my reality constrictions are make it.
Except Cleo on this podcast today is good at that.
So just throwing that out there. You know, some days it is a hot mess and I'm going live like 15-20 minutes late. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the reality because I also work full time. I try to stick to the schedule, and you know, some days I make my life really hard by doing that. But it's a necessary sacrifice that you make, or you know, it's a sacrifice in my schedule because, you know, like I'm kept to a time frame. I really like to like dilly-dally around, you know, like take 30 minutes, make my meal, maybe watch something on the telly while I'm doing it, you know. And when you have an hour, you have an hour.
There will be no hour and a half. There will only be 1 hour.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, we when we first started Streamer and Stroll, we sat down. It's like, well, how are we going to do this, right? And we're like, you know, we'll start at 3 p.m. Eastern time. That's fine, and we'll go for an hour and a half. First episode, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Something like that. So we got really into it. No, it was just
the commitment. Again, the idea was the commitment was we do at least an hour and a half. Okay. Because again, I felt like, you know, we've got a set day, we got a set time. And we need to, for us to, you know, justify doing this, we need to have a certain amount of discussion and content and things like that. The second part was, but if we vibing, if we having a good time, you know, let the good times roll. Let's have fun. You know, let's just let it be something just kind of fun, casual. Again, you know, there's a lot of us hang out in Discord together as it is. But you know, I really have started to enjoy the structural content of putting this together, of us, you know, working together, of us thinking of ideas, us having a good time, and it's even better, Cleo. Again, you're our first guest that we've had outside of our little group of 3 here, and it's been an absolute joy. It's been a blast. It really has.
Yeah.
And now we know not what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just wrote podcast rule number 1. I talked over you.
No, it's okay.
No, okay.
Wait, there's
we
rules?
don't have that rule here.
No, we don't have that.
Yeah. Well, again, and that's also part of you know, us kind of recognizing the ways that we operate best. I operate best in a slightly chaotic situation. So when I say things like, hey, if you got anything pop in your head that you think's funny or you want to talk about, just go for it, because I don't mind switching directions.
We can edit it later. Yeah.
Edit it. No, we just put it up. This is all. No, we don't. We just put this all up. Just there, YouTube, have fun.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's just all going on YouTube as is. So I sit down and edit it.
We'll just put in a couple of in there somewhere.
Oh, we should.
We'll just use those.
Beep noises. I want a beep button. I want a beep button.
My beep button's over there.
It's over there.
Man.
See, that's so. In talking about scheduling, you're 100% right. If you're looking for growth, if you're really looking for to make things happen, you got to think of your channel almost like its own TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day when they had TV Guide, you knew Friends came on at 9:00, and you knew you had to be there for Friends, and that's very much how our channels are. I know. I was talking in another group of mine that I'm pretty active where they were discussing like, okay, how can we get some growth in this networking group? What can we do? And I was like, one of the things we need to do is just come up with like, scheduled events, things that we have to do. I was like, right now I'm living and dying by my daily schedule. And I mean that literally for me, because I'm down like 3 employees, either to sickness, one leaving soon, just a bunch, something goes wrong. Like even today, my life was almost derailed by work. Like there was a very fine chance that I was, because I had to go and buy some stuff for the center, and I thought I'd be stuck up there a while, and I was able to be like, nope, we're getting out. We're going home. We're doing this.
Well,
we're doing
just would
stream
have phoned Velos in. He would have been like crappy audio on his phone, like Cleo's here.
Yeah, just hearing like you guys just have watched the bowling streams. It's just noise. It's a cacophony of noise. But
today's streamer intro is brought to you by the word cacophony.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, man, that's a sexy word.
Cacophony.
That's one of them $5 words right there.
Book club today, we read the word terrace, and we were like, ooh, terrace.
Terrace. Ooh, it's got that C. That's an S. Terrace. Every time you say it, just extend the S longer.
Cacophony terrace.
Are we saying terrace as in like TERRA?
Like a cacophony of terraces.
Are they just falling off houses? Is that what's happening?
Cacophony of terraces.
No, where people
Like a terrace of plants.
Yeah. Or a small terrace that you can step out on.
Yeah, it's like a
Or as they call it where I live, a porch.
A porch.
Well, yeah.
Well, step out on the porch does not sound the same as let me step upon the terrace.
Yeah, exactly.
Gaze upon my neighborhood.
Excuse me, Jeeves. Hold all calls for me, and I'll be out on my terrace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold your call, sir.
Or like a boy.
Foyer. You mean living room? You say foyer, or I'm gonna stab you.
My silverware from the armoire in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
Where are we?
I may have to. Now I just want to do I'm just gonna be like, Zello's being fancy ass for stream today. Like, oh, good evening, chat. How are you doing today? I see we've all made it safely onto the internets tonight.
That would be a character. That would be a stream character.
When you played Sexy Businessman.
Oh my God. That fucking game is a madhouse.
Which one? Wait, I'm sorry. Which one?
What, sexy businessman?
Sexy Businessman.
Yeah, let me.
Design a sexy businessman and run your business.
God, what is it? That's not the full name. Let me get the.
That's not. It's
Okay,
a really
the real
fun
name.
game to watch.
Yeah, Max
I
Gentleman
need to
Sexy
find this game.
Business. Cleo, I think you would love it. It's if you like tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top dating games, this game is just
over the top.
a mad dumpster fire of hilarity. Everything in it is just ridiculous.
But it's like done well and funny.
It's
It's
done
not like
so
just
well.
lewd everywhere. It's just like it's
Yeah.
clever and
Yeah, I mean it's
Gentlemen, sexy business.
yeah.
Yep. Max
Oh,
Gentleman.
that's okay. All right. I'm
It's-
may
it's-
or may not be adding this to my wish list currently.
Oh
It-
yeah.
It does have a stream mode to it, so you can actually have any of the lewd imagery be covered up. So there is that option as well. So it's something that you really can share with stream and be like and just enjoy the glory of the I hit my mic. Enjoy the glory of the ridiculousness of it all.
Okay, cool.
Oh man.
Cleo, you played Dead by Daylight for a while, right?
Oh yeah.
What level did you play, Killer or Survivor?
Survivor.
All right, as Survivor, what was your favorite troll to do to a killer?
Well, back in my day, when I played originally in 2016 and 2017, it was called the pallet swap. Where you would throw the pallet down and you would switch places with the killer as he was swatting you through the pallet. And then you would hit your control button on the other side.
And just do a friendly little dance.
Back in my day, we called that teabagging.
Just a
God.
friendly little dance.
We would kill the other side, see? And then stand over them and just teabag. Just up and down.
We just do a little dance.
Just do a little
Fi-
dance.
Final Dead by
do a
Daylight
little-
related question.
Do a little dip.
If you were a killer in Dead by Daylight, what would your power be?
If I
How
were,
would you troll the survivors?
I would probably be similar to Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows, and I would just keep them there, and I would talk their ear off in a monotonous tone about shit they didn't even want to hear about.
Like
Just monotony going on.
like instructions from a Tappin microwave cookbook.
I can send you a copy. You'll see a brick flying through your window tomorrow. No.
That is from the fact we send all of our mail through Brick. The streamer and troll world, everything's delivered by Brick.
I just sit outside with hockey mitts, and I'm trying to catch it before you deliver it. I don't have $300 to replace my.
I don't have the money to replace this window. But I'm expecting a letter.
I've received. I just got this just in. Received
just in?
an interesting video clip here. Let's take a moment and a break and enjoy this video clip here.
Oh, oh my God. What? The jukes, though. The jukes. You can't handle these jukes. Honey boo, you really wanna get me, but you can't, you know. Yes, you want this. You want this ad. You want this booty. You really want this booty, but you... Oh, fuck, okay. All right, you can have the booty. Fine. You can have the booty. The hook is right there. I won't even struggle. It's whatever.
So is that what you're talking about? Just a little.
Well, that was before. That was before the throw.
That was
But on the swap, I wonder if YouTube has a video of it. But I only pulled it off a couple of times, especially on the Huntress.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most magnificent, satisfying feeling. I could I can even describe. When they try to swat at you and you just like switch up, and they all of a sudden can't get to you. So you're like, whoa.
Come at me, bro.
And you're like, you can't handle this. God, it's fine. They took out the ability to do a palette swap.
So your experience with using that maneuver is so much better than my experience. I haven't never used it, but I have had it used on me as a survivor from other survivors because they thought I was a robot.
Oh my god. It's true, Death is a bot.
I'm fixing generators, and I like favor the powers that let you see the generators, so I know exactly where to go, right? Like I've got it speed map, and I have like almost a photographic memory. Like I'm a step below it, right? So like I know exactly where it is. I know how to get there, where I need to crouch, and so like for some reason to my teammates, this meant I wasn't a legitimate player, and so they started crowding me and like teabagging me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" It's like, it was the worst game ever. And then by the end of it, I'm like in chat, like, what is wrong with you people? And they're like, we thought you were a robot.
To be fair, Des. To be fair, that also happens to you in Discord servers.
Yes,
that
to be
people
fair.
think you're a robot.
Why is everything a robot?
Oh my god.
Just because I speak with grammatically correct spelling and like.
Be sure to tune in the next Streamer and Troll where we discuss why Des is actually a robot. What's her programming? What's the circuitry? Be there.
You know, speaking of Cyborg, that reminds me of Teen Titans. What was his name? Was his name
Cyborg.
Cyborg?
Yeah, Cyborg. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His name is Cyborg.
Booyah.
Yeah.
I actually spent the 4 hours and watched the Zack Snyder's Justice League the other night
Oh.
with Cyborg. He's not as cheerful in this one. He's very, very depressing in this one. Anyways,
Well, I mean, it is a DC cinematic universe. I mean,
True.
you know,
yeah.
unless it's dark and brooding.
I will say that the Zack Snyder ones is definitely better than the Joss Whedon one, but they're the same. It's the same plot, same movie, done differently, with some of the same stuff. It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours.
That's forever.
It's
That's like Prince of Arabia,
Ugh.
right? That's like
The movie's really long.
our movie.
Yeah.
He just like blew right past that.
yeah.
He was like, he totally pulled a. If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest I've ever been away from home.
That's a great fucking meme.
Yes. This is
Such
it.
a good meme.
I am now the farthest I have ever been.
Oh my god.
What is
I
it?
love it.
If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been. Come on, Sam.
Come on, Sam.
What is it, Sam?
Come
You
on,
know,
Mr.
it takes,
Floto.
It takes like an hour to get through that first segment because it's after every single step and it goes and it replays that for every
Yes.
single step he's taken in that okay.
Yeah.
Flash rant. Anyway.
It's like a bad version of Sting's song. Yeah.
It-
Every move you make, every step you take.
I'm gonna make a
The
movie about
furthest
it.
step you've been from home.
I'll be watching you. Sauron, that's Sauron watching.
Sauron's part of the song. I'll be
Watching you.
More.
Yes. Yes.
That would be such a good. That'd be such a good video to make. Just I'll be watching. Big fiery eye, just.
I mean, it hasn't been done. You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was like the troll with yeah,
Troll with sorrow.
falling down the tower.
Oh, that was fresh back when I was in middle school. Like,
Oh, I miss the old internet memes. Man.
I miss all the old Flash animation from the old internet.
Oh, Flash animation was great.
Yeah.
Some of the some of those are really, really good.
Like Strong Bad.
Strong bird. Or what was it? Badger. Mushroom. Exactly. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, there's an entire generation of people on the internet who don't even know what that is. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Back
You
in
know,
my day, we had badgers.
I have like giant giant patches of gray coming in now.
Oh, please.
You look distinguished, my darling.
Anyway, yeah.
I have a lot of tangents I could go on about cultural things, but
I'll sum it up and just say, every couple of years it just gets worse.
Oh.
I think I'm only 1 year ahead of Sid, and it really is just I hit this past year I hit the big 4-0. This year I'm hitting the 4-1.
Yeah, you just need a K.
Wow.
401K. Oh, wait, 401. My bad.
Oh.
God damn it.
I had a
That joke didn't
401k
work.
once.
No, it took me, and like I said, I got it, and I was just like, what? For what? Oh god! Now we gotta make jokes about banking. We're making banking jokes.
Banking jokes.
Oh my god!
Screw dad jokes. We got banking jokes. No,
We've moved beyond dad jokes.
yeah, I'm hitting the big 4-0 this year. I'm not ready
I'll be
for it.
30.
Des can
I'm
go to hell.
approaching the big 3-0. I'm approaching it, and
Oh,
I think
you're younger
No,
than me.
don't get. I liked my 30s. I did.
Yeah,
They were
no.
nice.
I'm
You're gonna
not
enjoy the
together for
30s.
Podcast today.
You're gonna enjoy the 30s.
Ah, I'm now wise. and older.
I remember
Yes.
this may not even land. I don't know, but I remember like one of the most vivid memories I have of that holy shit I'm getting old moment was I had a bowling center in South Carolina, and I was there one day. We had a bunch of high school kids in there, and one of the girls, like, they loaded up the jukebox, and one of the kids had played Bone Thugs and Harmony Crossroads. And I was like, oh, good song. Except they happened to be right by the snack bar where I was cooking. And the one girl, she's like, why'd you play this? And she's like, I don't know. I like the way this sounds song. Every time my dad listens to this, he cries. And I don't know why. And I'm like, okay. I was like, this is one of the most vivid. I was like, it's in my mind like crystal. I'm like, because it was just like fuck, I'm getting old.
Shrek is 20.
Yeah.
Next year, Shrek will be old enough to drink. Like, what? Huh? Somebody once told me that is gonna be old enough to drink.
Yeah. The thing is though, is that song is so impressive though that it's still a meme song to this day, and people get it. People get it.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think Smash Mouth has released anything since Shrek. But
Actually, I watched a fabulous video analysis of Shrek recently, and the incredible precision with which they utilized their music. to help tell their story.
Yeah.
So this is in comparison to other pieces of media who will just be like a jukebox musical, right? They just have the songs playing. They have nothing to do with the story. They're just there because they sound cool and they're the pop songs of the day. And then like Shrek does this beautiful combination of utilizing the music of like really to give you this sense of the spirit of what's happening. But then additionally, it does have some absolutely gorgeous original compositions. So like that beginning like jingle that starts the movie is utilized over and over and over again in the movie. And then like anyway, I won't go through the whole thing. I've got more, but I'm gonna stop myself. But anyway,
That's your next
It's okay.
video.
I think I was gonna say if you could share that video, if you could DM me that video, I'd be interested
Yeah,
to see it. 'Cause that's
Honestly
really cool.
interested to see it myself.
it's really good. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean,
It was a really good analysis. And it's just by this music channel who's like a super music nerd, and he just really just analyzes shit.
that's
You know,
all.
that's I think that's something that's I think that's a topic that again that might be an interesting little side road is with all the DMCA and having to try to find copyright free music or like even the games we play is the music copyrighted or not and how tough it is. It makes it really tough to be. I think it would be very important to be incredibly deliberate about. It'd be like 4 minutes to be. Sorry, I got a message like 4 minutes till 2 hours. Valid point. So I'll try to cut this down quick. And I keep stuttering over because
I sent that in a message so we wouldn't have to broadcast.
Oh, sorry. It popped up on my screen. I'm like, I was reading it as I was talking. I was like, blah, 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 blah. Oh shit. Okay.
All right. Note to self: Zealous is like
There-
Ron Burgundy. Don't use a teleprompter.
No, it is.
You'll
It
read
is.
everything.
Just read whatever's on the teleprompter.
Everything
All
that
right.
comes around.
I'm not so real quick. One of my goals when I'm streaming is to try to take the very few filters and like walls we put between other people. I try to get rid of that almost as entirely as I can because I think authenticity is important. So I try to take a lot of my like ego just and throw it out the door and just whatever's happening, embrace it for whatever's happening. Unfortunately, there are times where that turns into I am talking and I see something and blah, 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 which has led to some interesting moments in chat where I'm like blah 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 blah. Oh, I dodged the bullet somehow. It's like the Matrix happened. I almost dropped the word I shouldn't say and right by it. All right, we're not getting banned today.
We're not getting banned today.
But I think that would be an interesting thing to try to do. Would maybe find a way to get more deliberate about the kind of music you're playing because, music a lot of the times for me, it really helps me condition my mood. It helps me condition my energy level based off what I'm listening to, how into it I am. I think it fits the theme for what I'm playing, but before all the DMCA stuff, like man, I would come up with playlists for specific games because I was like, oh, I think this would go really well with this.
Well, and then as an artist who streams on Twitch, like having a playlist full of energy really helped like get me focused and into whatever I was doing and painting. And now my options are jukebox, soundtrack with it's generic instrumental music.
Ah, pretzel rock.
I'm so tired of this
Yeah.
music.
And
I'm
again,
still being in it.
I still have playlists for like specifically for Overwatch. I mean,
Right.
it's that type of music that gets me in that mood and gets me in that zone when I'm playing.
I'm also a nerd, so I'm like, oh, I want that playlist. Send it to me.
Oh, you want it? Okay, I'll send it to you.
I want an Overwatch playlist.
It's kind of like some dubstep and stuff. Something like really high energy shit.
Yeah.
but how about you, Cleo? How have you approached music? Through,
Okay, while we're still on that topic, while you're not streaming, play Overwatch and listen to Scooter 20 Years of Hardcore.
Scooter 20.
Mind-blowing. Amazing album by a hardcore techno DJ that has been around for decades. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, so when it comes to me, like trying to find music, I struggle I struggle so hard. But what I've done is I've just gone and looked on Spotify, and I look for anything that is copyright free. When was it last updated? Because you know like, that can change.
Yeah.
Can change any day. So you know you need to make sure that if it is copyright free, that it is fairly recently, you know, like updated.
Right.
You know, and then you just look at different genres, whatever one that floats your boat essentially. Like I've got one for rock, I've got one for synthwave, lo-fi, like EDM. So I guess that would help, but I don't venture out and go look for copyright free music usually.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sid, are you on the pretzel rock bandwagon?
No.
Or no? No.
I was on it for a little bit, and I immediately jumped up.
I use a lot of Spotify, and they have some royalty-free stuff, playlists and stuff. You still have you have to be a little bit more aware, because sometimes they'll slip in something that's copyrighted in the playlist and stuff like that. So you just kind of scour it. But no, I used Pretzel Rock when it first was introduced, and I just the music got me depressed on that. I was seriously depressed on that. I'm like, yeah, dubstep. This is not what I want. This is electronic.
Yeah.
This is not exact. This is nothing. No, it's. But no,
All right, guys, we're gonna turn on pretzel rock today.
But I have tried it before. I'm sorry, Cleo. What was that?
No, you're good. I mean, I just wanted to say, like, I'm so grateful to like Dragon Force and the that have come out and said like, hey, you can use our stuff. And what has it led to? An influx of people that are streaming exclusively Dragon Force and Midnight. Like everybody else who got locked out, sorry, but you're missing out because
so that does bring up some interesting dilemmas though, because complaining about Pretzel Rock, the CEO of Pretzel Rock is in complaint. This is something interesting. Did a really interesting deep dive into how DMCA can affect streamers, and there have been a few issues of artists who've been like, you can use my music if you want, except for the fact that it's owned by their music
Other
is
people.
owned by their
labels.
And that ends up being that can lead to some confusion.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure Dragon Force owns all their own stuff. With the amount of self-publication and self-distribution of music right now, there are 100% more artists that have the ability to say, just use our stuff. And I think that is going to end up becoming a much larger problem for the music industry, as vampiric and evil as they seem to be. That there's a whole generation of musicians coming out now that just don't need them.
Right. Yeah.
Just don't need them.
Record labels and labels like that are almost phased out now. They're because of the digital age, honestly. They're slowly fading out. They're grasping at straws, and that's what the whole DMCA thing is. They want to stay relevant, and then we just don't.
They just don't know how.
Yeah,
they don't know how. They're becoming Blockbuster.
Yeah, I was about to make the comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of branding,
I
watched another video that was really interesting about how like Blockbuster should have become Netflix, but because they chose to stay in their old ways and like this is how they're married to their ideas of like who they are, they phased out and something new saw themselves differently and was able to take that over.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
like I feel like that's something to think about with streaming and the things that we decide to do with our lives, right? Like don't get too caught up in how you do something. If it
Yeah.
you need to change, be open to that fact and like transform to meet your audience and your needs, right? And so Cleo, this leads you to a question that I had considered asking you way earlier in the podcast and I forgot. Which was when approaching streaming, what do you wish you didn't know?
What do I wish I didn't know?
What do you wish you didn't know when it comes to streaming? What knowledge prevents you from either doing your best or having your best time? So, what knowledge that if you could just forget it, would it increase either your success or your enjoyment of streaming?
I wish I could forget about all the other people on the platform and stop comparing myself to them. Because, I mean, like, I applaud them and, you know, they work super, super hard. But when I see somebody come in and they're like, oh, wow, yeah, we're partnered, you know, we have like 200 viewers and yada, yada, yada. And we've been streaming for 2 years. And I'm like, I'm on year 5 and I'm just like, wait, why am I doing this again? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You know?
I
So
totally agree on that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. It's so hard and you can't help but compare yourself to others. And that it's so debilitating. It's so difficult to not do, like, period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Period.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just going to say that like I've been streaming since 2014, and you know it's really hard, especially when they made the affiliation part easier, and there was an influx of I went through that whole influx of like YouTubers coming in onto the streaming platform, and they already had a huge crowd, so like these people were getting partnered within like weeks of just starting it, and it's hard. It's hard for like people like me, like people like us, sitting back and watching them, just going, "Oh yeah, here's all the money, you know, influx. Here's the partnership. Here's all the viewership and stuff like that." And we've been struggling for like 7+ years now, or 5 or plus years, or whatever it is. You know, trying to maintain that 10 viewer count that we love so much. That 5 viewer count that we love so much. Just you know, trying to keep hold of that. It's just it's
So
very unfair.
So I mean, I got 2 points. I got 2 points. One, do they come in like, I'm partner, bitch, yeah! Woo! Yeah! Party time! Yeah!
I honestly think that Zealous hit the nail on the coffin right there. I think that's exactly how they.
I got such a mess to clean up right now. But on the serious note, something I'm not just in my professional world experience. You know, I run a small business. At one point we had 6 bowling centers. We had to consolidate. That's a good way to say that we basically had to sell everything off but one. And one of the things that is one of the biggest struggles is trying to break free from my own perception of what the business is and what I think other people in my industry are doing, and looking at it more as what what do I bring to the table? What do I think would be fun? And what ways do I think I can improve everything? And that's a skill that, like I said, I've been in bowling now 20 years, 20 years I've been involved in the bowling business and self-employed. And that's one of the things that I try to bring to streaming. And it's very, very hard. Like I'm in a position where the gains I would have to have for streaming are so astronomical higher to meet my standard of living from the bowling business, that really the money part of streaming hasn't been a huge consideration or factor. It's just something I like streaming. I like getting on, and I figure with time, experience, getting in and keeping that thought of, how do I do my own thing, or how, if somebody else is really popular over here, what are they doing that makes them popular? And then like, is there anything I can kind of draw from for inspiration and put that into the mix?
Yeah.
And but I definitely understand the struggle, because again, I've been to places, we've had centers that were the best looking center, cleanest ran, and I thought we had some of the better employees, but the center across town just was just eating our lunch for a long time. And it's something really hard to try to push past that. It took me a while to be like, they're in the part of town where things are happening and stuff's growing. I'm in the part of town that was growing 20 years ago. There's a different amount of draw to that. But I think that goes back to what Sid and Des were talking about, trying to keep things fresh and saying, hey, I don't need to be so rooted in this idea here and move forward. And I think for me, that's really always the push is, what am I doing that's working? What am I doing that's not working? How do I get rid of it? My dad, he's always like, well, what is the bowling center across town doing? It's not across town. The nearest bowling centers to me are 30 minutes away. And that's no traffic. That's just distance. And the reality is, for somebody to go 30 miles away from where I live, they got to be really pissed off. They got to really be pissed off. I must have done something to make them very, very angry. And to some extent, I think that's true to streaming. Is like, there's a million other people streaming. Yeah, there's so many other people, but are they coming because of the game? Are they coming because of you? What are you? What ways do you have to get eyes and make people stay on to you? There was some point in the discussion earlier where we were talking about like attracting people to watch. And it reminded me of a book by Robert Greene. Des knows what I'm saying. Sid's going to know what I'm saying here in a second, because I say it all the time, and I may have mentioned it to you, Cleo, but there's a book called Seduction by Robert Greene. And I think it's one of the best books to pick up as a streamer and self-reflect on. Because it's not so much, how are you trying to romantically seduce chat? It's not quite that. The book is more about what ways, what are your go-tos to get attention? Like, what can you do to get attention on you? Cleo flexing, that's what but it's a really good book for kind of taking that and distilling that information down and being like, okay, how does this apply to, where do I fall in this? How does this apply to me? And what ways can I use this to either lean into it or pick a discipline that sounds like maybe one or two steps away, and add that to the equation to make that much more, that appeal much more instantaneous.
Yeah.
And talking about like the personality, the dominant personality, things like that, that's where you can really put that together to say, okay, how can I present this information, but keep these things in mind for where I'm going. Long way of me saying, pick up Seduction by Robert Greene. I think it's a great book.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, hashtag not sponsored. On the flip side, though, it is we've been going for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, or 2 hours and 18 minutes if you're going to be a stickler for numbers.
25 seconds, 26 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. How are we all feeling? How are we all feeling? Are we at a good point? Do we need to? Okay.
I think we're at a good point here.
Okay.
Cleo, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and mess with our shenanigans. You're always welcome to come back in anytime. Of course.
Anytime, Cleo. You're so fun.
Anytime. Just let us know.
Sweet.
And I hope you enjoyed your time here.
No, yeah, thank you for having me. It's been awesome. I can't even enunciate my words.
Words like cacophony.
And Terrace.
This Whisper and Troll podcast brought to you by the word cacophony.
Cacophony and Terrace. Seduction.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us so much. We look forward again. We do Streamer Troll every other week. So it is the 21st right now. So our next stream is going to be set for Easter. That'll be the 4th. Guys,
Sunday. We gotta
What
talk
do-
about that. We'll talk about it later.
yeah, we'll have to talk about that. There may be a schedule change. We'll have to see how it goes.
We'll
But everybody,
keep you
thanks for
updated.
joining. Yep. Thank you for joining us. And Sid, that's always a pleasure getting to do this with you guys. And Cleo, thank you so much. It's
Cleo!
been amazing.
Again, hey, go check out Clioburrito at
Yes.
twitch.tv/ClioBurrito.com. No, not .com. .com. Yeah, she streams. Oh, we don't. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a shout out. I'll have to make a shout out thing for that. So yeah, go check her out at twitch.tv/ClioBurrito. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. I think that's it. Are we good?
Yep, we're good. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. See you. Catch you next time, guys.
We go!